Sleep money, no weak money.
Welcome to another episode of the Fete Kings podcast. My name is Sky, and today we're in Tampa, Florida, with a Trinidadian who's doing big things. From the heart of Sangre Grande to the tip top of Tampa Bay, today's guest blends culture and community like no other. Promoter, philanthropist, carnival visionary, Darril Lockheat.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, my brother.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yes,
You're from Sangre Grande. Big blood, one blood.
yes, sir.
My family's also from Sangre Grande. Tell me a little bit about the early life in Grande, you know?
Well, growing up in Sangre Grande, we're always about family, always about culture. For those who know me or don't, my dad is a Calypsonian in Sangre Grande, poser, for those who know the name. So we've always grown up around culture, around Calypso, food, family, friends. That was my upbringing in Sangre Grande. A Thai community, to this day, still a Thai community.
What make you feel connected to this culture, buddy? This Caribbean culture.
You know, as you leave home and you travel, you get to know other cultures, other people, if you have the ability to travel. And what you realize about our culture was what makes it special is the lack of, let's say, violence, the love, the connection, the community vibe that it brings, right? So you listen to things like soca music or calypso, it's always that vibe, whether you want to go back home or looking forward to eat a particular meal. The music itself, what keeps the culture together is what drives me to want to be a part of this. And again, always enjoying other cultures, but just appreciating ours, you know.
So when I came to Tampa, right, in 2012, when I moved here in 2012, the first party I ever went to was one of your parties. It was a short pants and summer dresses on the beach at Whiskey Joe's.
Yes.
I remember it.
Yep.
I got my first wine. I was so excited. I was 22 years old and so
I
happy to
remember.
be outside. I just wanted a wine.
I
It
remember.
was your event that like introduced me to the Caribbean culture here. What made you become a promoter out here, bro?
Well, for the same reasons you just said, we looked around and saw there were certain clubs and bars that did the same thing, you know. You got a DJ on stage playing the same music. A lot of the music in Tampa, it took a while for the DJs to, get caught up with the new music. Because it was always that small Caribbean community here in Tampa. It didn't really explode as it is now. So when we decided to start doing our thing, it was to introduce people to the new music, right? A different way to party. You know, you go home for Carnival and you see the big promoters do their stuff, and you try to bring a little flavor of that back to Tampa. We had an opportunity, like you say, with Whiskey Joe's to do it on the beach. So that was unique from doing it, like, say, in town or in a bar or in a nightclub. We were on the beach, open air, live music, live band, DJs, and that really drove us into doing something special or doing something different for years. So that's how we came about it.
Yeah, boy, I used to come to that Sunday. You had that Sunday party for how many years?
Oh, God, we did that a good 5-6 years.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Every Sunday without fail, we know where to find you.
Yep.
Whiskey Joe's.
Whiskey Joe's on
That
the
was
beach.
it, bro. That was it. When did you start Just School / Obelisk? When did you start taking this seriously?
Well, for me, Just School Entertainment was always just that, right? Just for the vibe of having somewhere so people could come and relax and just unwind, right? So when we started, my boy Marlon Chen from Deja, we teamed up, promote Deja, promote the DJs in Tampa. A lot of these DJs, whether they would admit it or not, we gave them that opportunity, that platform to widen their craft, to spread their craft on the beach, because there was a lot of different people, a lot of different cultures and stuff coming through Whiskey Joe's. So for us, that was just the vibe. It was just to do something for people to have fun and enjoy themselves on a Sunday evening before you go back to that hectic Monday work life, right?
Right.
But in doing so, as time went by, as you say, Obelisk Foundation started out of literally wanting to give back to the
So hold on,
community.
let me back up a little bit.
Yep.
All right. So Just Cool is the US branch,
right?
and Obelisk is the Trinidadian.
Yes, a Trini branch, Sangre Grande, basically born and raised out of Sangre Grande. The idea was to carry Just Cool Entertainment to Sangre Grande,
Right.
but for branding purpose reasons, we couldn't brand the name in Sangre Grande or in Trinidad.
Oh, okay.
So the name got shut down a few times. We tried different versions of the Just Cool name that didn't work with the government. So Obelisk was founded out of trial and error, looking for the correct name to do what we wanted to do. The name Obelisk comes from the Egyptian word obelisk, which basically means a pillar. And we see ourselves as wanting to be a pillar in the community in Sangre Grande, hence the name Obelisk.
Hey, you enjoying this episode of the podcast? Great. Like, share, subscribe. Down below.
How was the environment different doing events in the US versus doing events in Trinidad?
Well, for right now, this is our second year in Trinidad in Sangre Grande, and there's a lot of challenges. I would say more challenges in the sense that there's a lot of trust factor that goes into what we're doing. So we're constantly trying to build that trust in a community that we grew up in but left, if you know what I mean. We go home, but we don't stay in Sangre Grande 24/7, 365 days. So we're in and out. So there's a lot of new faces, a lot of young people who don't know us,
Right.
growing up in Sangre Grande. So a lot of it right now is the trust factor. So the challenges are there to gain that trust, build that community while building that brand. So people will know, okay, if Obelisk say they're doing this, this is what they're going to do. This is what they promise, and this is what they're going to get. So those challenges are there right now, and we're facing those every day, but we're knocking them down as we go.
What events have Obelisk done so far? Because you said you're open for 2 years now.
Right.
I know you have a Juve band.
Yes.
What other events, or what are the events that Obelisk have done in the past 2 years?
So basically, to bring the two together, the Obelisk Foundation is about giving back to the community. When we first started the foundation, we did go out and try and get donations, which was obstacle in itself. Out of that was born the Obelisk Juve. So the Obelisk Juve sole purpose is to help raise money to put back into the foundation.
Okay.
So the foundation, for its 2 years in existence, we were able this year to actually, for the North Oropuch RC school, we were able to build a sign for the front of the school. So that was our donation from the Juve back to the school this year. So that was our first real give back. As for the Juve itself, we were so far had 2 Juve bands out of Sangre Grande and watched them grow, 2 years now. With all the ideas we have coming up for the next couple of years, waiting to see that grow. But so if we look at the events, we would say 2 Juves. We were able to compete in which we've won both.
Oh, congratulations.
Won both. And then the foundation has so far, in its give back, we've done the RC, North Oropuch RC school, to where we've done their sign out for.
Wow. What did you all do the first year you all played? What was the name of the band that year?
The first year we did Curry Everything.
That's what I remember.
Curry Everything. So that was yellow. And we tried the themes we go with is basically to represent the color. So we wanted to do yellow, and that was the idea. Curry Everything.
I still remember that.
Right? And then this year we did red, but we wouldn't go there to do red. So we did Big Blood. That's where the red came about. So yeah, we just incorporated the colors. We already have the idea for next year. If you want to know what that is,
that's up to you if you want to tell the people.
Well, we're telling people right now, next year is Island Colony. So
it's green?
It's a mixture of colors.
Okay.
Yeah, right? Island Colony.
Island Colony. I just thought you was coming out to the green again. Look at them with that green.
It could be a little green, a little yellow, a little red.
All right.
Now Mr. Lockheat has a few words to share with us. principal, the teachers, and students of RC School. On behalf of the Obelisk Foundation, we extend our sincere gratitude to the principal, teachers, and students of North Oldbush RC School. We deeply appreciate your collaboration and the spirit of the partnership you have shown. It has been a pleasure working together, and we are excited about the positive impact our future projects will bring to the school and the wider community. Thank you for your continued support and shared commitment to growth and development. Thank you.
What we have just witnessed here will be a legacy of our relationship with stakeholders, an extension of our stakeholders, and we have a permanent fixture now as evidence of that legacy formed today. I just want to say thanks again to the Lockheat family. They have been actively involved with us since the day of our talent show, and they've been in communication with us throughout. And I'm really enjoying this experience. It gives motivation and drive for me to continue. But oftentimes you think that we are all alone here without any support. So it's happy to know that we have support locally and now internationally. But even Mr. Lockheat's family members who are abroad have been in constant contact with me as well. So Mr. Lockheat and family, thank you so much. We are very happy to have you on board with us. Thanks again.
Why did you focus on Juve specifically?
So in the journey, when the journey started about the foundation, and then we started looking into how can we raise money after going to some of the bigger names in Trinidad, like the Carib and the bigger brands, the Sunshine Snacks and these places. We never got the kind of feedback Blue Waters. I'm not casting any type of assertion on them. We just never got the kind of response we expected. So that's how we came up with the Juve band. The Juve band kind of came out of having conversations with people in Sangre Grande and being around Sangre Grande doing Juve and knowing the amount of people. I don't know if people in Trinidad are aware as to how many people congregate in Sangre Grande for Juve. I mean, you're talking about Arima shutting down, no Juve, and everybody's in Sangre Grande.
Also, there's no Juve.
No, people are literally leaving Arima. When I grew up in Sangre Grande, it was the opposite.
Right.
We left Sangre Grande and went to Arima. There's no Juve in Arima now. We're talking 10,000 plus people in Sangre Grande.
Okay.
Yes. So just looking at those statistics, those numbers, we decided on having conversations with people in the community. There's a room for a real Juve band. Right? And I don't mean some fly-by-night Juve.
Right, yeah.
We're talking music truck, drink truck, food, costumes, paint, powder, Moco Jumbies, a real Juve band, something that you expect to see in Port of Spain or in the bigger cities. And there's no reason for us not to be able to do that in Sangre Grande. So Sangre Grande is on a movement right now to bring Carnival back, to bring a parade back to Sangre Grande. And we saw this as a perfect opportunity to jump on board to help revive the Carnival community or the Carnival experience in Sangre Grande. And that's a mission we're on with the Juve band.
What's the challenges of creating a band outside of Port of Spain?
The challenges, as we discussed earlier, trust would be one. Again, people knowing what you're offering is what they're going to get. So for the 2 years, what we have said you're going to get, that's what you got. That challenge, couple that with people not knowing. If you never had something, you don't know what to expect, right?
Right.
So you have a bunch of people in Sangre Grande, there's no Juve bands per se. And then you're advertising a Juve band, and they're like,
what is this?
What is this? What is this? So we're constantly educating and trying to show people, if you're not going to Port of Spain and you're not having that experience, we're trying to bring that experience here. So some of the challenges, like we talk about trust, um, might be routes. We know, like we discussed with the Carnival Committee in Sangre Grande, safety, right? There's so much people. And what we're trying to create is a safe path for the parade route. So this is an ongoing discussion we're having with them to where more police presence, clearing the crowd, stopping the DJ music on the side of the street as the trucks come through, stuff like that. So we have challenges that, like I said, it's not that it cannot be overcome. It's just a matter of working with the committee as long as they're open to suggestions because we want it to be safe for everybody. Other than that, raising the money, sponsorship is always going to be a challenge, but we're here for it.
Right. I want to focus a little bit on the philanthropy and the giving back.
Yep.
Because I actually thought it was the other way around. It was a Juve band because I keep getting invited to the Juve. So I say, well, Darril doing a Juve band in Grande. I feel like no, it's the other way around. It's a foundation,
Yes.
and you did what you know.
Yes.
You needed a means to end, and you're like, I needed to make money, so I could do what I know. And they decided to do the Juve band.
Correct.
So I want to talk a little bit about the philanthropy side and giving back in your community. What is the project that you're doing? You said it earlier.
So we are working with the North Oropuch RC School to for their sign, the sign on the front of the school. Should be, it's basically done. They're just putting up the actual structure right now. What we have in the works, we have a couple basketball courts in and around Sangre Grande that we're getting estimates on right now. We have a project we want to, of course, we know we have to go to the government and the right people, but again, if we get the money, if we're able to raise the money with the business people in Sangre Grande or outside of Sangre Grande, there are projects in Sangre Grande, and I could just name a spot where as soon as you drive into Sangre Grande, I personally want to go help clean that up. Right? From cutting bushes to picking up garbage to painting walls. So there are projects in and around Sangre Grande to beautify the city, the town, to just welcome people as you come into Sangre Grande. So it's not projects that you wouldn't see. Basketball court, I could name about 4 right now that's totally run down. Paint and a new backboard and some nets. Just to get the youth back out, you know. Working with any school, if we have the funding, yes. If we need books, need a backboard, where they, you know. So my school growing up in Sangre Grande was Guayco Presbyterian. And I look forward to the day that I could go there and say, hey, here's a check to do X, Y, or Z.
Right.
That is what gives me joy right now. And that's the reason the foundation exists. It's just a simple thing as a take a book, leave a book. Take a book, give a book. I just need a shelf to do that.
Right.
Could be in a store. And take a book, leave a book. Let somebody read a book. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be no big $1 million projects. You know, there's small projects that kids could benefit from. And that's what we're trying to do.
It seems like you have a dream to see Sangre Grande on like a national stage or
Yes.
Why Sangre Grande?
Why Sangre Grande? I look around Trinidad every time I go home, and you know, you travel through the bigger towns and stuff. There's one thing that brings me back to Trinidad. I've never gone home and said, I'm just going to stay in South, or I'm just going to stay in Port of Spain or Shibona. So I have to go to Sangre Grande. I have to go home. And on my last trip for Carnival, you know, we went up Toco, we went up to the beach. And it reminds me why Sangre Grande, you know. There's still that sense of family, that sense of joy, that sense of peace. I go home and I sleep in my bed and I wake up without any worries, no pain, no aches, no pain, just relax. And I realize there's something about this town that just brings you back to being, you know. So for me, wanting to, like you say, wanting to see the town grow on a bigger scale, on a map, if whatever part I can play, whatever footprints I can leave, would make me feel like I've done something in life, you know. Not just me, but my family, my brothers, my sisters, they're all on board with this. And again, my father, he has done his part to help put the country and the town on the map. So we can only continue his legacy from there. You know, we can only hope to continue his legacy from there.
Where do you see Obelisk in the next few years?
So in conversations that we've had, we started Juve, and we wanted to focus on Juve for at least 3 to 5 years. That was the goal, and then see where we are after that. By that I mean, do we want to still do Juve, or do we want to transition into like a Monday Mass?
Right.
We've had this discussion. So if we have the participants, if we have the masqueraders, and we post it to them and say, guys, what do you all want to do? Do we still do Juve? Are you comfortable with it, or do you want to do like a Monday Mass, a nice sailor outfit, or short pants and a nice shirt with a nice hat? So I'll take that feedback from the masqueraders and then see where we want to go. If we still do Juve, we stick doing Juve, right? But if there's a position again to transfer to something else, because again, the goal is to help build the carnival. So if building the carnival means doing a Monday Mass, then by all means.
Are you going to get back into the event side of things? Because
In Tampa or in Trinidad?
no, in Trinidad.
In Trinidad, yes. And again, with funding and the right situation, so like we have plans of say doing like brunch, like a
Okay.
nice brunch. There's so many things, right? I could go down a list.
Right.
As before we even get into events, we talk about workshops.
Right.
There's a list of workshops we plan to get involved in, from swimming classes to covered construction to barbers. We already have barbers lined up who are willing to teach a youth how to cut hair.
A mentorship program.
Exactly.
So is there going to be an Obelisk mentorship program?
Yes.
I like that.
And it's all with the goal to help get these youths all, give them an avenue, give them something, some kind of hope. It's not just always that, there's nothing to do, no, there are stuff, but we need all leaders, the people we grew up with, who are now leaders in the community. You don't have to give me anything financial. If you give me an hour of your time to show a youth how to cut hair, I'll take that. 1 hour for a week, and he walks out of that barbershop learning how to cut hair, and he can then take that craft and make money and not have to worry about how he's going to make money, then I think we accomplished something, right? There's a simple thing of, when I grew up, I didn't know how to swim, right? I made sure my kids know how to swim. Let me teach a kid how to swim. It's sad to say that we go up on an island not knowing how to swim, but yes, if I have somebody who is a certified swim instructor, by all means, come teach a couple kids how to swim. So it's just little things that I feel like can help grow the community. So hopefully that kid grow up to be a national swimmer one day.
A community leader have a bad connotation in the Caribbean.
Yes.
But I think you're trying to become a community leader. I can actually see that you're working towards being a community leader or activist.
Activists, yes.
Activist also has a bad connotation in the US.
Yes.
This is the last segment here. This is the rapid fire.
Yeah.
Rapid fire. Favorite soca artist?
David Rudder.
Wow. Favorite soca song?
Favorite soca song I have to go with two. I'd have to go with David Rudder Calypso music because of the lyrics in that song. I think it's the best soca calypso song has ever been written. Right? So I have to go calypso music when it comes to live and die music. That's a song, right? But Savannah Grass is that song that brings you home. I will never die.
All right. Most unforgettable Juve memory?
The most unforgettable Juve memory is probably one you want to forget, to be quite honest. So I used to live in the Cayman Islands, and I was part of a group that started in Cayman Islands called Mothers International. Mothers International has now grown in Sangre Grande, in Port of Spain. And when they first came to Port of Spain, met up with them and we did Juve. I accidentally started drinking punch in that morning. Accidentally, because the liquor I had for me had fallen by mistake. So I was like, I'll try punching. I didn't end well. So next thing I know, myself and my sister-in-law, we were lost in Port of Spain. A police car had to bring us back to the mass camp. Yeah, that was, I could remember most of it, and thank God we had pictures, but yes, it was one of the best Juves, but also one you want to forget.
Any dream collaborations?
Dream collaborations, if I had the opportunity, I had an experience this year with a guy from Sangre Grande named Ronnie. He bought Kess. to Sangre Grande for the first time. Kessas played in the East. First time. And it was marvelous for our small town to host a Kess concert. I would like to do a collaboration with him, the Obelisk Foundation or Obelisk Juve, into doing something like that. And it doesn't have to be on that scale, but I see his vision, I see how he thinks, and I would love for the opportunity to work with him on doing something.
I actually went to Robbie B's concert in Sangre Grande.
Yeah.
That was an amazing show.
And I think it's probably him who put it on.
Oh,
So it could be
I
the
was
same
there.
guy.
I was there. It was an amazing
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, I'm not mistaken. And there's two people in Sangre Grande that does big promotions, and I forgot the other guy's name. So it's one of them who did that show.
Where can people find you?
You can find us, my phone number is on WhatsApp, 813-494-4032. Email address, first name Darril, Darril, Darril Hat at gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook under the Obelisk family, Obelisk Foundation, on Instagram under Obelisk.
Okay, man.
Yep.
I want to thank you for coming out and giving me this interview.
It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure, man. You introduced me to party in Tampa. Honestly, like, people don't understand. My first wine was because of you. That first wine.
Thanks.
And my first girlfriend in Tampa. That is the first thing I've done.
Listen, we had some really good parties on the beach. And you were there for the mud party, the mud.
Yes.
Listen, to this day, people still talk about that.